In this video, I'm going to unbox and assemble this Jasion RetroVolt electric bike that I sourced online. A link to this bike is above and also in the description. But before we get started, I want to give an overview of some of the feature. It comes with a 48 volt, 13 amp hour battery that's mated to a 750 watt hub motor that peaks at 1200 watts. It has this nice cargo rack feature or extra seat on the back. You need to source the extra seat or cargo rack from Jasion directly. This is a full suspension e-bike. It comes with fenders, both front and rear. It has a full color screen, 5 pedal assist modes. It comes with a headlight, tail light, a 7-speed shifter, a half twist throttle. The bike also comes with a mount on the front with an optional cargo rack. It comes in 3 different paint schemes. This is the blue, white, and red. And it also comes with black with flames and then a matte gray if these colors are too wild for you. So let's get started on unboxing and assembling this bike. Okay, in here is the tools that you're going to need. Some of the fasteners, not very many, pedals, and charger. To remove the bike from the box, it's easier if you have a friend help you lift it out. But since I don't have anyone to help me, I'm going to lay the box down and I put a piece of carpet here so as I slide the bike out, I don't scratch the bike on the frame. I'm going to remove those packing pieces, then gently lay the box down. The bike is packaged really well. You can see here there's a support plate for the front fork so it doesn't get damaged. Everything's zip tied. I'm going to go ahead and remove all this packaging. Got the frame almost unpacked. On the handlebars here are the keys for the battery. So go ahead and separate that. I'm going to unlock the battery from the frame and then simply push up and it slides out. This is a pretty decent battery. It's a 48 volt, 12.5 amp hour battery. So I'm going to get this charging. I'm going to install the handlebars. I'm going to use a 5mm Allen wrench that came with the bike in the box with the charger and pedals, and I'm going to remove the top of the stem cap. You're going to remove this metal pipe that was a spacer to keep the stem all tight, and then I'm going to lift up the handlebars. I'm going to go ahead and install them. I'm going to let the handlebars kind of fall down. And then install the stem cap. All right. Once you've tightened the top, tighten the sides with the Allen wrench. I would go about a half turn past tight. Now bring up the handlebars. With the stem attached, what we're going to do is position the handlebars in the right position that I think is correct, and then tighten these 4 bolts down so the handlebars will be secured in the vertical position. You may need to come back and adjust this and also straighten the stem after you put the front tire and pedals on if it's not aligned to your liking. It's pretty easy to do, to come back and tighten it. You're going to need the 4mm Allen wrench, or I happen to have a socket set here so it makes it a little bit quicker to assemble. Pretty nice. The bike comes with all the tools. Really kind of liking this paint scheme. All right. It does have a torque on there. It says 5 Newton meters. I might go ahead and torque those down or go maybe a quarter turn past tight. I'm going to go ahead and position the screen while I'm here. and tighten that down, center it up. It takes a 2.5 millimeter Allen or hex key. Now, I didn't find this hex key in my tools. I'm going to reach out to Jasion and ask them to include a 2.5 millimeter Allen key to tighten those screws. All right, to install the front wheel, bring your front wheel over here, and we're going to remove the shipping support that the wheel was shipped with. You're going to use a 15 millimeter wrench to remove the nut. You may need a second 15 millimeter wrench so you can hold one side while the other side spins. I'm going to remove this. You don't even have to take it all the way off because the fork's open. Now, you're going to bring your wheel up here. You're going to see that on the wheel there's a flat washer on the outside, and then you'll have this washer with the little tab on it. Now the tab needs to lock into the fork. I'll show you that, and then I'm also going to do the same thing on the other side. Before I install the wheel, I want to make sure that these brakes are spread apart. I may want to just use a little bit of a screwdriver. I have this plastic wedge piece just to make sure the calipers are spread apart and the brake rotor will fit in here. Now I'm going to bring the wheel up like this. This is where it would help to have a friend lift the bike, but I'm simply going to lift the bike up, move the shipping support out of the way, and then I'm going to slide wheel in here. And the hardest thing is getting the rotor in there. There, I got the rotor in there. And then the fork slides into the axle. So now that I got the wheel on, I'm going to go ahead and install my washers. You want to make sure you use this washer with the tab and make sure the tab goes into the hole on the fork. Then your washer with the serrated side down, and then the nut on the end. And you go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Install those. Then you're going to use the 15 millimeter wrench and tighten this bolt down. Do the same thing on the other side. We install the front fender. You'll also install the headlight. You're going to reach this around. Make sure that it's not wrapped up or tangled. Going to bring this around this way like that. And I'm going to set that to the side, and then I'm going to slide the fender in like this, and then you're going to see in the bag with the tools is this bolt or screw with a nut on it. You're going to need this wrench with the 10 millimeter on it and your 5 millimeter Allen. You're going to install the headlight and the fender using the same bolt. You're going to slide like that, then through the front, through the fork. And then you're going to put the nut on the back and tighten everything down. Use this 5 millimeter hex. Hold the nut on the back with the 10 millimeter wrench. I'll leave that on just finger tight, and then I'm going to install these supports. Get those installed. You're going to also use that same 5 millimeter hex. Loosen the screw on the fork here. You're going to bring the fender support up and install the screw. Now I'm going to come to the other side and do the same. That down. Now I'm going to move back to the top here and get the headlight and the fender positioned where I like it. I like the fender all the way down so it's nice and tight to the tire. Use my 10 millimeter socket in the back here, 5 millimeter up front. Go ahead and tighten everything down. Go ahead and remove the plastic. It's a small headlight, but it has a reflector. I know this is for LEDs, so it should be bright enough, especially if you're riding around in the city. You can always add a headlight up on the handlebars, but I do like it low like this. It's low and out of the way. Now, if I bought the bike with the basket or cargo rack on the front simply uses 4 bolts, and it bolts on right in this area. In the bag with the tools is 3 caps. There's a small rubber one. This goes in the top of the stem, prevents the water from pooling on the top of the stem. And then these 2 caps go on the front axle. One last thing with this installation is the pedals. Now they're marked left and right. You can see right, it says which way to turn using the 15mm wrench. I like these pedals because they're plastic, so when you drag on the ground, they don't scratch. Most e-bikes come with metal pedals, so I want to make sure that this is the right pedal. It says right there on the end, and then it tells you which way to thread them in. Simply thread them on using the 15mm wrench. Just a little past tight. Now I'm going to move over to the other side. And it's left, so it's opposite thread, counterclockwise. All right, I'm going to get on the bike and check the handlebars. They feel like a good, comfortable position. The screen's in a nice, comfortable position. This brake is a little bit high. This one's a little bit low. I'm going to go ahead and adjust these brakes and get this situated. The battery's still charging, so I'm going to do those slight adjustments. You're going to use the 5mm hex and go ahead and loosen that brake. Bring it up like that. Tighten it down. Nice and easy. This one over here, I'm going to do the same. So I noticed this brake rotor was rubbing a little bit. When you lift up the wheel, you can hear it rubbing. It's not too bad, but there's an easy way to adjust that. What you want to do is reach up here using the 5mm Allen key. Just loosen the brake. These 2 bolts. That allows the caliper to move in and out like this. What you're going to do is reach up on the handlebars and press down on the brake lever and tighten it down like that, and then come back down and tighten the bolts that you just loosened. Now the caliper is centered on the rotor, and it shouldn't rub anymore, and it should be nice and aligned. All right, got that done. So now if I lift this up, spin the wheel, spins nice and freely, so I'm happy with those results. All right, it's time to get this thing going. The battery is fully charged. I'm going to go ahead and install it on the frame, secure it down, put the weather cap on, lock the battery in place. My recommendation, leave one of the keys at home and take one with you just in case you lose it. Moment of truth here. We're going to turn on the battery. Then to turn on the screen, you're going to hit the power button, and you're going to see it come up. There's a full color screen. To change the pedal assist modes, you're going to simply hit the plus button to get you all the way up to pedal assist mode 5 is the highest. It says it's sport mode. To go lower, you're going to hit the minus button. So let's see how fast it will go. The default, it's already set up in miles per hour. We'll go into the advanced settings menu if you want to change it to kilometers. But let's see how fast this thing goes. Says it does 34 miles an hour. Obviously, that's with no load on it. So I'm expecting it to do about 28 to 30 miles an hour when there's a person riding it. So what else we have here? We have a speed. Not sure what that is. That might be cruise control. So let's see. If I go up to pedal assist mode, let's do 4 and hold it. Yeah, the cruise control, that's kind of nice. It's a separate button right here. It holds the speed at that, and then I can shut it off as needed. That's kind of a nice feature. Let's see with the information button. You have the odometer, you have a trip, you have the time, and you have power. I like that it shows you the power. So that's pretty neat. It has a horn. It does have directionals. They are only in the rear. And it has a headlight. To change the display from miles per hour to kilometers, you need to go into the advanced setting menu by holding the plus and minus button. Hold that for about 2 seconds. It jumps you right in P01. You're going to hit the plus button one time to P02. And then you're going to hit the I button so that the lower number blinks. And then you can either hit plus or minus, and you'll see it goes to 00 in kilometers. Then you'll go back up, hit I, and the blinking will stop. And then you're going to simply hold the I button down, and it will go back to the main display, and you can see this. It's set to kilometers per hour. And if we test it, you'll see 55 kilometers per hour. All right, I hope you liked this video. Subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.